What's up, guys? It's been a while since I did a long form video on the YouTube, or really since I posted on the YouTube channel. For those who are watching, appreciate you watching. Right now it's like 20 some subscribers, which is pretty cool. I saw somewhere that it was a reel. If you look at your views and people, like actual people, you put them in a room and you only have 20 views, well, that's 20 people in a room, 100 people in a room, 200 people in a room. So I'm not focusing so much on the views, but who is viewing it. So if you're that person, you're taking notes, that's awesome. Right now I'm doing legs. I'm on this squat contraption. I don't even know the name of it, but it's assisted with the cable, so it helps out. And what I wanted to talk about is business, because that's what I know, and I only want to talk about what I know. I'll listen to other people, listen to somebody that knows what they're talking about. And I've been doing business. I've been running my business. I actually have a separate channel. It's FAZ Power Washing. Right here, back of the shirt. Right here, you can see it backwards. And I talk about pressure washing on that channel, but this is my personal channel, and this is where I talk about pretty much fitness, health, mindset, nutrition maybe. But I'm gonna switch it up to business because that's what I know. That's what I've been doing for the past 6 years. Running my business, starting my business, working in my business, still working on my business. So, but let me set up this real quick and I'll be off camera. So don't leave anywhere. But anyways, off camera, starting a business, and this is really for someone that has never had, someone who's listening, has never had any business experience. I'm pretty sure you had a job, you worked at a job, you worked for somebody that told you what to do, to be somewhere at a certain given time, to do this a certain way. They showed you how it's done, you made it your own, whatever. But actually running the business, the day-to-day operations, it takes a lot. From getting the customer, fulfilling the product, to even prior to getting the customer, trying to get a customer. So when it comes to business, you want to provide a service to somebody that has a problem, and your product or service can help alleviate that problem. So pressure washing was something that I fell into. My older brother, it was his idea, and at the time I already wanted to do something else. I didn't want to work for anybody else. I was already at that point to where, you know what, I'm making a lot of money for somebody else. I'm just gonna go and try to do it for myself. So that was the goal. And we found a service, which is pressure washing. That is a problem that people have, and we fulfilled that need with our service. Let me hit this real quick. One more. Yeah, that's right, one more. That was good. So, fell into it, did it, ran it with my older brother, brought in, I'm the youngest, brought in my second to the oldest brother. And we pretty much just started going, running our business. spread into other realms like commercial, fleet washing, and well, just recently, we decided to part ways. I pretty much decided to part ways. I love my brothers. I love them to death. I'll have their back if it's just, if it's justified to have their back. I'll have their back. I'll have their back. And really, when you're starting a business with a partner, family members know what you're getting yourself into. I'm not gonna say that my brothers were all bad and they were lazy or anything like that. They took advantage, but there's just some certain characteristics and traits that are not aligned with what you are about. I'll leave it at that. But we made a lot of money. Throughout the year, we made a lot of money. I was able to support my family, so I was able to keep my wife at home for about a good 2 to 3 years. And it was good. There was a lot of early mornings, late nights. So it's a lot of sacrifice, and you do miss out on important days, events, whatever. You try to make it work. You still try to have that family time. Me personally, I love my family. I always wanted to give them the things that I never got. Trips, just cool shit. I really don't like spoiling my kids. I'll spoil my wife with my kids. I won't give them the world. I'd rather show them how to attract what you want in this world. But my wife is different. I'll give her anything if I could. But running a business, it's really, I link it to, you're just creating on a day-to-day basis. You're creating your opportunities. You're moving along with what life throws at you. And sometimes you're like wondering, well, why is this happening? What did I do to deserve this? Why? You shouldn't get caught up on the why. It's who you are at that given time, who you have to become at that given time to progress in that struggle, that adversity. And most of the times, you're not going through adversity. Adversity is like putting 4 plates on your back with a bar, and on the second squat, you feel like you're gonna die. So you have to go ahead and push yourself up, or you're just gonna fall to the ground. Hopefully you got something to hold up that bar, right? But that's adversity, where you feel like you can't anymore, and you're gonna die, and you make it out to the other side. That's adversity. Or starving or whatever, homelessness. That's adversity. Other than that, it's just an inconvenience because you're not getting your way at that given time. So it's hard, it's uncomfortable. Not a lot of people like to be put in that position to where you're not getting your way. And that's gonna happen quite a bit in business. You're gonna have everything planned out. Something happens that you're not expecting, and then you have to regroup, realign, readjust. You're creating the solution. And I always tell people, I remember it's a mentor of mine. I like to think of him as a mentor. He's an older dude. And he gave me a chance. He's a property manager. And he said, because I would tell him, or he would give me a problem that he had relating to pressure washing. And he knew I had the solution. And I would say, no problem. That's no problem. And he said, you're not in the pressure washing business, You're in the no problem business. Meaning, something comes your way, you tell the customer or even yourself, no problem. I got this. I'm the person that can solve this. And that's with anything. You have a problem, You have the solution. You don't even know the solution yet. You find the solution. You tell yourself, no problem. You go about creating in your mind, using the resources that you have in your business, in your service, any kind of resources that you have. You sum up all that together to provide a solution, which is the no problem. So in business, you're in the no problem. You never want to say, well, Mr. John, I can do it, but I haven't had the time, or I don't have the equipment. And it doesn't matter. Just say, you know what, I can do it with a fair kind of explanation, description of, all right, this is what needs to be done. This is what I have. And you're telling yourself in your head, yeah, I could do it. Now, if something comes along the way where you're like, hey, we had some difficulties, but I'm going to figure it out. Communication, that is key when you're running your business. You want to communicate effectively, well, with your prospects, your clients, your employees. And that way you're translating everything that, not everything that's going in your head, but everything that is in your willpower to go ahead and solve that problem, to give that solution. Communication, and no one ever wants to come up to a person and say, and hear, well, I can help you, but, yeah, I can help, but I can't. So every time you say but, you're pretty much telling them that you can't. You're not confident enough to solve their problem. And that's where you're going to lose a lot of opportunity that translates to monetary value, money. You're going to lose money, you're going to use opportunity, you're going to use network connections. You're going to lose it if you keep stopping yourself. You have to tell yourself, I'm the type of person that can take on this problem and solve it with the resources that I have. Just remember that. Business, it's a constant creation cycle of whatever that you're doing that day. You're going to create the solution with your employees. Like I said, your employees, your customers, your future prospects, you're going to create a solution. Whatever you are in. You could be a personal trainer, you could be a cook, you could be a babysitter. Everybody has a problem. You're going to fix that solution, no matter what. And then you take it a step further, go that extra mile to over-exceed their expectations as much as you can. Now that takes time with employees because you have to trim up. Like right now, I got two of my guys. They're taking care of a multi-million-dollar house. And I could have showed up, which I was. But I said, you know what? I'm going to take this time to let my lead guy, the one that drives the truck, pulls the trailer, and give him that opportunity, give him responsibility to show me what he can do. And he has in the past. I'm giving him more opportunity. And if it bites me in the ass, that's on me. I know what I have to work on. That gives me feedback. I'm confident in communicating with the customer. If something were to happen, God forbid, I have that confidence in me to make it right. So I have really nothing to lose with giving my lead tech, my employee, that responsibility. And you have to do that. You have to let go. In the beginning, I thought I had to be everywhere. I had to do everything at the same time. But that doesn't give me the time and opportunity to go ahead and work on the business instead of in the business. You're gonna look at a couple more videos. You're gonna hear that. You gotta work on the business instead of in the business, or else you yourself are the business, and you just created yourself a job and not so much of a business. But appreciate y'all watching. If you got in this far, go ahead, check me out on Instagram. I have my personal IG page on there where I talk about fitness. I show a lot of fitness videos, my journey and how I started, my physique. And I'm going to be posting a lot more talking videos because that's where I'm able to give more value to y'all. So I appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to go do some more legs. Peace.